So we're going to see a yellow flag shortly, and then the lights are going to begin. There's the yellow, and there are the lights. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights, and we are away for the 9th race of Season 1 Division 1 online Formula Racing. Now, Stinson actually got a pretty good start, but so did Izat. Izat has already jumped Matt's there and taken 2nd place. Everything looks nice and clean so far. We've got one driver at Racing Point going wide, one Red Bull going wide as well. I think that's Max who's dropped down again. Another race where Max is losing time, but Stinson and Izat have pulled away. Now we have a bit going on into turn 3. Jan makes it through okay. Tommy is looking around the outside as they go through turn 3, and he's managed to overtake Leica, but Leica is not giving up, and he will be looking down the inside into turn 4 there. He's got his ERS set to overtake. Can he outbrake Tommy? It looks like he can, and it looks like he's got the racing line too to make sure that he doesn't get overtaken there, but Leica has made that position back up, and he retains 5th place. Anything going on a bit further down?
Yeah, we've got the two newer guys, Robot. Scotty and Anders staying side by side during the whole start of the race. Oh my God, Scotty went wide. He's going to lose 2 positions here, maybe 4. And he's sideways. He's sideways, and Castle is going as well.
Oh, that's super unfortunate.
For the new guy there, Robot. Yeah. We saw them go side by side during the whole start of the race here. It's going to bring out the yellow flag. I don't know if we're going to see a safety car here, but they were side by side. They looked very good as we see him just... Yeah, he's just got 2 hot tires.
He needs to cool them down.
He's got to cool these things down.
He's still got his ERS to high as well. That's not going to help him as he's cooling these tires down.
Yeah, a little bit of a rookie move here. I mean, he's got to be nervous, though, too, Robot, right? So, I mean,
of course.
The nervousness starts coming in. You're starting a new league, and you want to be good, but you're so nervous coming into it. He's got to take it easy here, take a deep breath, and then come out and prove himself to everyone else.
Yeah, so as Castle and Scotty come into the pits, it doesn't look like too much has gone on for the other drivers. So just looking at the position changes, Izat obviously made up 1 position, whereas Matt's lost 1. Leica made up 1 as well, so he moved up into 5th place, and Tommy moved down 1. The only other driver that's benefited here, apart from the guys that have already DNF, so Scotty has gone out as well, you can see he's retired from the session there, is his teammate Anderson, who also gained 3 positions on the first lap, so well done for your first race there, Anders. But that's a shame to see Scotty go so early on in this race.
It is a little bit of a frustration thing there. He should have stayed in and just made it work out. I mean, it's not something you want to see out of a driver, to just quit, come into the pits, park the car, leave, and be done with it. You don't want to see drivers do that. You got to come out here. You got to finish it no matter what happens. It shows the integrity of drivers in a league race.
It does. Now, no safety car yet, which is great. I really thought there was going to be one when you said when these 2 drivers crashed out at turn 7, but everyone is still racing so far. We have a few drivers bunched up a bit at the front, so I'm going to ride on board with Jan, Mats, and Izat, who are just coming down to turn 4 right now. Jan does have the DRS already, and it just shows you how short these laps are, because usually we're waiting about 5 minutes until the DRS turns on, but here, because the lap is so short, it's on after 3 minutes. So he's not got DRS anymore as he's just gone through turn 5 there. He's coming through turn 6 now. He's 7 tenths behind. I don't think we're going to see any overtakes anytime soon with this lot. So I will jump down and see what's going on a bit further down, as Santi is just 3 tenths behind Tommy here as they are coming through turn 8 right now.
Good to see Santu, being able to be in the league race here today. He's been having internet connection issues, and he's been trying to solve it. He's been trying so hard to fix it and be a part of the league here. He's never apart. He's always practicing. He's always there. So it's enjoyable to see him here and battling up front with the rest of these guys.
Yeah, meanwhile, Max and Vilsek are battling into turn 1. Max making the overtake and getting very messy out of turn 1. Is Vilsek out? Oh, Vilsek has gone off track. That's unfortunate as he's blocking the pit exit there. I didn't expect that to happen, but Max came off. Oh, he's heating up the rear tires as well. He needs to make sure he keeps them cool.
Yeah,
he has
he's
turned
just
his
noticed it
down.
here, Robot. He did turn it down, so he did notice it. That shows the veteran mindset of a driver that knows what he's doing. He was a little frustrated, so he didn't, do it right away, but he did turn it down, so he did recognize what he did.
Yeah, and Santi and Tommy are still battling it out now as they're just going through turn 5, coming up to turn 6. Tommy is still ahead, but Santi's looking down the inside already as Tommy goes a little bit wide. I'm just riding on the onboard of Anders right now, and if Santi and Tommy come into contact, Anders is going to take huge advantage of this, but Santi is not letting Tommy go. He is right behind him as they are coming into turn 9 now. Now, this is a really tricky corner to get right when you're following someone, because you need downforce there, and if you're following someone, they're basically stealing all the air in front of you, and you have trouble turning into corners properly. But Santo is still behind, and he has DRS open as well. Let's see if he can do anything here.
Anders surprises me here, Robot. I mean, he could make a move and he could push and he could late break, but he's not. He's staying behind. He's waiting for these guys to do something wrong, or he's waiting for his opportune moment to make that position up. So a lot of maturity we're seeing out of the new driver here today. Not a bad race coming out of this guy from the Renault Sport team. I like what he's doing here, Robot. I like what I'm seeing.
Yep, and Santi and Tommy are battling, and Tommy is putting his car into the amazing positions for defense here. I think he's parking his car right in the middle of the track, so Santi either has to decide to go left and go too wide, or go really deep on the inside, and that's a really good defense strategy around here. One thing you do want to do when you're defending as well is make sure you have enough ERS up to turn 1 and up to turns 2 and 3 as well, because that is the place where you're most likely going to get overtaken. And that's what we're seeing with these drivers right now, because Santi was basically racing with 0 ERS through there, and as soon as he's coming up to turn 9, he switches it all the way back up and pushes as much as he can with his DRS open. So we're going to see it now. As he comes through turn 10, he's going to turn his ERS up from 0 up to overtake, as he has done, and now he is pushing. So we're riding on board with him. He's got his DRS open. He's catching Tommy pretty quickly. Can he do it?
Tommy blocks extremely well. That was an amazing block from Tommy there. Tommy knew he was going to go outside, so Tommy stuck the car there. So now he's going to stick to the inside. He's switched it out. He's going to try to make Santu go outside around turn 3 here. Let's see if Santu can make it happen.
Again, great positioning from Tommy. That is really good defense strategy there. Santi gets a little bit messy over that bump you were talking about at turn 3 there, but he manages to correct it just in time.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Robot. Now, this is the place where you can make it stick on the outside, as we saw earlier in practice. Santu can go outside here, and if Tommy is on the inside, then he has to slow down a little bit more to get around the corner. Santu has to set that move in 1 or 2. He's going to have to wait until 3 and make it happen, or 4. It could be turn 4. 4 is the one where you really want to set somebody up. If they're on the inside, they can't get around as fast.
So while this is going on, Vilsek and Castle are actually battling too. Vilsek goes really wide into turn 3 there, and Castle gets his position back. Vilsek getting a bit scruffy as well, going over that bump. You were right about that bump. That is a dangerous spot there.
It's a very dangerous bump there. It's more of a dip, Robot, than it is a bump. I mean, the dip is really what causes the car to come off of center there. When the car comes around turn 2, it goes down into the dip. Now, exactly when you think you want to accelerate is when the car comes out of the dip and you lose all the rear. The car comes up as high as it's going to come off the racetrack in the whole track, and you lose all the grip out of the rear tires. So when you get on the accelerator, you're still turning, you're still coming out of the dip, the car is as high as it's going to go, there's no weight down on the rear tires, and you're just going to spin it around every time.
Interesting. So meanwhile, Mats is just 4 tenths behind on Izat right now, and I think we should highlight this because Izat was the F1IR Season 2 winner. He was our fastest driver until AJ came along, and these two were quite similarly paced, but Mats is somehow keeping up with
Yeah, he's
Izat,
keeping up
really
there,
close.
Robot. Yeah, he was really close. They're letting Stinson go here. Now, Isa hasn't had to really battle Mats. He probably is in defense mode right now. He knows Mats is behind him, and he knows he has to do something about it. So what they're going to do is they're going to start fighting with the ERS mode, and they're going to start going into attack mode, and Izat's going to go into defense mode. Now, what's this going to do for Stinson? Stinson's going to take off here, and he's going to grow the gap farther than what it is now. Izat does not want this. He wants a clean race, and he wants to be able to keep up with Stinson there.
Yeah, and Mats was really struggling out of turn 3 there. He almost lost the rear, but he managed to correct it on time. He was really close, just 2 tenths behind Izat, but that mistake has cost him half a second, and he is now 7 tenths behind. So the next 2 closest on track would be Santi and Tommy again. So I'm going to ride on board with these 2 whilst Mats catches back up, and as soon as Mats gets a bit closer, I'll jump back to him. Max and Jan are also pretty close as well. Jan dropping down 4 places from the start, and Max gaining 1 position. We've also got only 6 laps left until the expected pit time for all of these soft drivers. What tyres is Castle currently on? Because he had to pit early but started on the mediums, didn't he? I wonder what that's done to his strategy.
He did. Let's see what he put on. He did go to the hards. Vilsek is on the hards as well. And we did see Tampa spin. Tampa is on the hards as well. So this may be something where we're seeing these guys try to go to the end of the race on hards. It's going to be very difficult, Robot.
Yeah.
You don't want to be on the hards here.
Max is now just 2 tenths behind Jan, and he might even get an overtake before they get to turn 1. He's looking down the inside. Jan breaks a little bit later there, but goes a little bit wider, and Max is going to have a far better exit and a far better run up to turn 2 now. He's got his DRS open, his ERS is on overtake, and that just looks too easy for Max as he benefited from the slipstream there, and he got the overtake done. Can Jan do anything back? Doesn't look like he can. and Max has now gained that position back that he gained earlier and lost again, and he's now 2 places up from where he started, running in 8th place. Meanwhile, Santi is just 2/10 behind Tommy as they go through turn 4 there, but once again, Tommy is putting his car in the best possible position to make sure Santi can't.
Now this gets very frustrating here, Robot. I mean, when you're defending left and right, lap after lap, it gets very frustrating. It gets very tiring. You're thinking about where the guy behind you is going to go. It can get frustrating. You don't want to be defending lap after lap. You want to be able to have your own race, do your own line. You don't want to be doing this lap after lap. So I can understand that Tommy is getting very tired here. We'll have to see how far he can go. As Leica has gotten a 5-second penalty for speeding in pit lane. He's in the pits. He's on lap 10. This is an interesting strategy we're seeing out of Leica, Robot.
Very, very interesting. So he got a 5-second penalty. Jan also picked up a 3-second penalty on the previous lap for cutting corners, I believe. What tyres has Leica come out on now?
He's come out on the mediums, Robot. A very interesting strategy. He's got to take these things 26 laps. Very long time to go on the mediums here, Robot. 4 laps over the recommended tire pressure from Pirelli. Pirelli does not want these things to go over 22. We're seeing Leica. Leica's wanting to go 26 laps on these tires. It's going to be very interesting to see if he can keep these things going.
Yeah, and meanwhile, we see Stinson down in 6th place on fresh soft tires. He started on soft tires too. So is he doing a 2-stopper right now?
It looks to be a 2-stop here, Robot. He's got the speed to do it. I mean, he's down, what, 2 seconds behind Santu and Anders. I mean, he can make it back up. We've got another 25 laps to go. So he could very easily come out on the mediums around lap, let's say, 22, maybe 20, and have fresher tires than everybody else. That's the name of the game. That's what Stinson's trying to do, is he's trying to get on fresh tires at the end of the race.
So, question for you. Who pitted first? Was it Stinson or Leica?
I'm not sure. I want to say it was Stinson, since Stinson is out in front right now.
Because I think something weird's going on here. Because in France, Leica was trying to do a similar strategy to Stinson. Stinson got in contact after the end of the race and said, hey, you should have done this strategy. If Stinson pitted first here, I think Leica's pitted after him, knowing that Stinson's always on the best strategy. But Stinson's come out on softs, whereas Leica's come out on mediums. I think someone is playing tricks on each other here.
They are. There's a little bit of a mind game set here. I think you're right, Robot. I think something's going on here, and Stinson realizes that Leica's a little bit of a strong driver. We might be seeing some mind games here today.
I think so.
So it's going to be interesting to see the after race or the post race. I want to know what happens.
Stinson has just gone down the inside of Anderson, who has left a lot of space there. So again, this is Anders' first race, and he is doing a hell of a great drive right now. He's being respectful, but he's still pushing on track, and it just shows what a great driver he actually is. It's great to have him here, but Stinson has already made up those 2 places that he lost in the pits, and he is now hunting down Isaac.
He's 8 seconds back, Robot. He's 8.2 seconds back on Robot. He pitted. He came in for a pit. He's 8 seconds back on P2. They have not stopped yet. It takes about 30 to 40 seconds to come in for a pit stop here at Austria, and he just came out and did an undercut. That's the undercut of the century.
It really is. He's now taken out another 5/10 there. He's just 7.8 seconds behind now as he's coming up to turn 4. I think he's playing with these drivers, you know. I really think he's trying to show this league what he's got by doing a 2-stop and still coming out on top.
I think you're right, Robot. I think you're right. But I think we're also going to see Leica in a good spot here. Leica is in P6. He's only 23 seconds behind the guy. We're going to start seeing the guys come in on, 2 to 3 laps from now. Leica's in a good spot. If he gains some time here, we can see Leica jump to P2. Tommy is 28 seconds behind. If we're thinking about a 30-second pit stop here, Tommy's going to be in P3 or provisional P3. We're going to see a big jump here, and I knew the strategy was going to play some games, but I didn't think it was going to be the mind games that we're seeing today.
Yeah, as we just see Stinson take another half a second out of Isak's gap, and he sets the fastest lap too. Now, one thing to point out is that Max, Tomper, Vilsek, and Tommy went onto the hard tires. Now, the only way I can see this hard tire choice work is if there's a safety car a little bit later on, because that means they're not going to have to pit again, and they may have enough speed to maintain their speed to the end of the race. But a hard tire is a really strange choice this early on.
It is, and as we see Yen coming out of the pits, Yen just came in for mediums. He's coming out. The hard tires, I don't like. I would not go to this set. It's just, they're too hard to warm up. and then you come in for it. Now, the safety car does help, but at the same time, it cools the tires down, so it takes the hards a little bit longer to warm up. I just would not go to that set, Robot. Now, that's me. Now, these guys may know something that I don't know, but as we see Tommy's running P6. He's on the hards. He's 1 lap old. He can run this out to the end of the race, and we could see a big difference here in position change as the drivers start coming in.
So Izak's just jumped into the pits. Max is just, I think, like 4/10 behind Jan. I think there's going to be a bit of a battle here. Izak comes out on the medium tires, so I suppose he's committed to this 1 stop as well, whereas Stinson is the only one who's committed to a 2-stop strategy.
Let's see if Leica catches him here, Robot. Leica's coming around the turn 1. I think he's gonna, well, Izak's out. He's out. He's on the DRS straight. Leica is just now crossing the line. He's right there behind him. I think he's going to stay behind. I think Iz is safe.
Yep, and Izak's going to have 1 or 2 lap fresher tyres too, so that's going to play a part at the end of the race. Meanwhile, Max can't really get past Jan. He has got DRS right now. I'm just riding on board with him. Going to see if he can do anything up to turn 2 and 3 here. He's looking down the inside. He's going to try and brake a bit later, but no, Jan brakes at the same point, I think, as Max did, and Jan is going to stay ahead. But now, Max is just a little bit closer. He's got DRS again. Can he go around the outside into turn 4? He's gaining on him, but I think he's just not fast enough right now. No, he's going to stay behind as Jan is glitching around a bit, so I'll move to someone else.
Yeah, a little bit of a glitch there. Jan is actually off the track now.
Yeah, I see. I think he's having some network issues there, so we'll jump down and see what's going on a bit further down. Let me switch to interval. We've got Anders and Tommy very close. Anders just 2/10 behind Tommy right now. Now, Anders is on fresh medium tyres and Tommy is on 2-lap old hards. That is why Anders is catching him so quickly right now, because he's just had so much more grip out of the corners, even on the straights.
He goes down the inside here on turn 1, Robot. He's going to go down the inside. Let's see if he can hold it. He does. He's going to hold it. Now, is Tommy going to let it go, or is Tommy going to fight back here?
Well, Tommy does have his DRS open right now. He could fight back, but I just think that Anders' pull out of the turn 1 was just so much quicker. He had so much more grip and he could get on the throttle so much quicker. And yeah, I think he's just pulled away now.
Yeah, the new tires are going to help him out. And being on the mediums are so much faster than the hards around here at Austria.
Ooh, Tommy goes a little bit deep into turn 4 and has to avoid Anders' car. He locks up there and nearly goes into the back of him, but he managed to avoid it, thankfully. What are you thinking?
Bit of a disappointment today, Robot. I'm sorry for interrupting you, but a bit of a disappointment out of Vilcek today with Williams Racing. He's down in 11th. Not what I expected to see out of Vilcek. I know he was having issues with practice this week. He doesn't like the track at all. He's not happy with the car. I mean, but I didn't expect him to be down in P11. Do you know something, Robot? I mean, I don't know anything about what's going on, but Vilcek is usually very quick, and he's up there on the D1 standings.
He is. He's the only thing that I can think of with Vilcek is that he's actually turned off all of his assists completely. So the only assist that they get in D1 is a racing line through the corners, and I think he pledged last week to turn it off in preparation for the next season. So I think this is his first race without a racing line, and that's why he could be so slow. But the fact that he is practicing from now means that he's going to be on the front foot when it comes to season 2.
You're right. You're exactly right, Robot. I didn't think about that when I brought it up, but he is doing that. I forgot about him mentioning that earlier this week in media sessions. So Max did the same thing last season in F1 IR. We saw him let go of the no traction control, right? We saw him let go of the racing line all the way around. And now, where's Max today, Robot? Max is in P2.
Yeah, you're right.
He's in P2 right now. We saw him do that, so he is front running, and we do know that doing something like this can help with the next season.
You're right, and sorry, whilst we were just talking about Max, I quickly looked at his name in the standings, and I've just noticed that Stinson is now 16 seconds ahead on the soft tyres. So I think Stinson is just going to keep building up a gap until he can pit again, and then do the same again. I think he's toying with these drivers right now. How fast?
He is.
Wow.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, it takes a lot of skill to do that. It takes a lot of pace, and Stinson just has all of that. I don't think he has any.
You've got to be on all the time. Yeah, you've got to be on it all the time. He's running a fast lap or a qualifying lap or time trial. He's doing that every lap.
It's really amazing to see. He's still pulling away a gap now on 7-lap old soft tyres. They'll probably start falling off around lap 9 or 10, I think.
Yeah, you're right, Robot. I want to go to the racing incidents here. Sentu's on a 3-second penalty for corner cutting.
Okay.
We did see Leica speeding in pit lane. He's got the 5-second penalty. Yan has a 3-second for multiple warnings. And then let's look further down the list here, Robot. 5 seconds more to Yan on top of the 3 that he got earlier for multiple warnings for speeding in pit lane. Yan's got 8 seconds of penalties on him. We'll have to see how that plays out later in the race.
Wow.
Tampa with a 3-second penalty. And then we see Maximus with 3 seconds. Santu with another 3, so that's 6 for Santu. We've got Castle with 3. Is anybody else? I believe that's it. Yan with another 3 seconds. That's 11 seconds of penalties to Yan, Robot.
Yep.
Now we're going to have to see how that plays out later on in the race.
Yeah, and as you were saying that, Anders actually picked up another 3-second penalty too. So, I mean, if Yan already has 4, he's only halfway through the race. If he continues like this, he may even get a disqualification. I think you're only allowed 10 in a single session. And if he's picked up so many already, then yeah, he could get disqualified. He needs to be more careful here.
Yeah, and he's running down in P9 here. He's going to have to stop the corner cutting, and I'm sure Jeff is on to him about it. He's got to be hearing it from Jeff, so he can't be very happy. He's not happy he's in P9, so he's trying to make up some spots here. He's on the medium tires. He's just going to have to chill out for a minute, let the track come to him, and then start climbing the spots.
What does this mean for the D2 race strategy? So a lot of these drivers have either committed to a soft medium or a soft hard. Actually, all drivers apart from Young Stinson out ahead 17 seconds down the road have committed to a soft medium, soft hard. I doubt anyone's going to want to pit again apart from Stinson. Do you think that's the ideal strategy for D2?
It is. You're not going to see a lot of guys doing what Stinson's doing right now unless they've got the pace. I can't see Jens having it. I can't see Simon having it. Unless you're doing this pace where Stinson can climb 20 seconds out, come in for a pit, and then come back out, you're going to see all the guys on a one-stop. They're going to do a soft medium. That's what we're going to see most of the D2 guys doing. You may see 1 or 2 try to be a little unorthodox and go medium soft, but I think that's the only thing we're going to see in the D2 race today.
And while that's going on, we've got Santi and Tommy still fighting even after their pit stops. We've got yellow flag in sector 1. Oh, it looks like Tompa has come off in turn 1 and he's driving backwards on track right now. He needs to be careful. Make sure he doesn't get disqualified. He is back facing the right way, right there, the right way now. He was on those hard tires, 12 lap old hards. Maybe he just hasn't got enough heat into them yet.
He may not be. They should be hot, Robot. He should be at a point where the hards are at their peak position right now and peak temperature. So I'm not sure why he spun it. Might have been a mistake. I think it's more of a mistake than the tires. So, but he's going to have to cool them down now. I know he's going to have to cool them down.
Yeah, that was a strange mistake to see from Tompa there. But I'm going to jump back up to Santi because he is still just 0.6 behind, but he has
Castle
DRS.
spins, Robot. Castle in turn 1 is spun in the same exact spot as Tompa. He's coming back on. Oh no.
Oh, his teammate
stay clear here. The same exact spot we saw Tompa spin. Now he's going to have to cool him down here as well. He's on the mediums. That was another mistake. The guy clipped the turn. He clipped the apex and he ran on the sausage and he spun the car. They're going to have to stop this or they're going to end up wasting their tires.
Yeah, I would have expected to only see that on the harder tires, but Castle was actually on 9-lap old mediums and he was caught out there. So I'm trying to think if... Yeah, I think you're right. If you have the pace to get a second a lap, it's better to go on soft medium to avoid any type of error in cool tires a bit later on. But I think I would have said it would have been best to do a soft medium, but now that the mediums and the hards are both kind of losing temp in turn 1, it's kind of hard to say what would be the ideal strategy. Would it be better to start on the harder compound and finish on the softs later on?
It may be, but you're looking at the same issue there, Robot. With the guys on the mediums, they could even out. It could be that the mediums and the softs even out towards the end of the race no matter what. But what we're seeing here, now I did think that Stinson had a very good leave off here after his first stop, but Mats is not letting him go. Mats is still at 18.2 here, so theoretically, if Stinson was to stop, I believe Mats would pass him here.
Yeah, really sorry to interrupt you there. Santi's finally got the overtake done. He locks up into turn 4. Tom might be coming back. He does. Tommy cuts back as they're going through turn 4. Santi went around the outside on the exit, but the inside on the entry. But Tommy took a huge advantage of that, doing the cutback. I thought Santi had finally got that done. He's been stalking him for like 18 laps now, but he's going to have to wait another lap to do it. He locked up heavily into turn 4, and he's going to have to cool down and go again.
Yeah, good move there from Tommy. Good block. That's my underdog, Robot.
You're right.
He's showing me what he's got. I don't know if he's going to get any higher here, but That's my guy. I'm proud of what he's doing right here, blocking Santu off, so I'm very happy with the results I'm seeing today.
Castle, oh, Jan's getting really messy through turn 9 and 10. I do think he has a network issue, while Castle picks up another 3-second time penalty. I'm not sure how Jan's penalties are doing, but Santi gets an overtake done before they even get to turn 3. So Tommy's looking down the inside. He's looking down the inside. Oh, there's contact between these two drivers right now. But I think Tommy's...
a bit of a wheel bump.
Yeah, I think Tommy lifted there knowing...
Oh, he's going to... Yeah, he did, Robot. You're right. He lifted. He didn't want to push the fact. And now he's going to have to rebuild and come back. He does have the DRS. They're coming down in the turn 4, I'm sorry. Santu gets a little loose here. I don't know if that was his internet, but it looked like the car was sideways. What did you see, Robot?
Yeah, he got a little bit of oversteer as he was coming out of turn 4 there, and he had to do a big correction, and now Tommy's taking him back. So this battle is still going on. These guys are swapping places before they've even finished the lap. Wow.
Yeah, amazing race from those guys.
So meanwhile, Stinson is in the pits. He's put on the medium tyres finally, and he's coming out behind Matt, but ahead of Izak, jumping up to these guys now to see if Izak can jump in. He has got an amazing amount of slipstream as they're coming through turn 2 now. On the entry to turn 3, Stinson has managed to stay ahead on these fresh medium tyres. So now he's just got to hunt down Matt, who's just a second down the road. How has Stinson got this pace?
I have no idea. This is a dream for Mats, though. What needs to happen here is Izak needs to pressure Stinson. If Izak can get into a battle with Stinson, we can see Mats take off here. This is Mats' dream situation here. All he needs is Izak to put a little pressure on Stinson and keep them there. If he does, Mats can finish the race in P1.
I think you're right. But the thing we're seeing, though, is that Stinson has pulled away 6/10 just through Sector 2 there. And he's even pulling out some now as they're going on the entry into turn 9. He's almost a second ahead. I think he will be as they cross the line. But surprisingly, I think that's Izak slowing down, because Stinson is not catching Mats as quick as he's pulling away from Izak, although he is still catching.
I can't remember the last time we saw Mats do this, Robot. I want to say it was Spain, maybe Catalonia. We saw Mats do this. I think that was his last race win, where he actually pulled out the race win. Mats is a very solid driver. Not a lot of mistakes you see come out of this guy. He comes around the track. You don't see him do anything wrong. He does the same race line all the way around, every lap, the whole race.
You're right. Santi is now overtaking Tommy again on the entry into turn 3. Now Tommy goes very deep, and Santi is behind. I'm going to stick with these two for now as they continue to battle. But the good thing about Tommy is he kept the DRS because he did such a late dive bomb there, and that has allowed him to pull away from Santi, I beg your pardon, on the entry into turn 4, and Tommy will stay ahead for another lap. But one thing to remember is that both of these drivers are on the same old tyre, so they're both 12 laps old, but Santi is on the faster compound, which is the medium tyre, and Tommy is on the hard. So you would have expected at least by now for Santi to pull away, but he hasn't.
I'm just going to change your direction here, Robot. Sure. Stinson's got DRS down on turn 1 here on Mats. Here he comes. He's going down the inside. He's going to make it look so easy.
And he has.
No, Mats is still there. He did make it look easy. They come into turn 3, and he's made the pass. This is a 2-stop. He just did a second stop, and now he is back in P1. What amazing pace coming out of this guy. Stantu gets a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings.
Yeah, and Max and Jan are battling as well. Max just a 10th behind Jan as he gets a bit scruffy through turn 1. Max is going to have DRS, and he's opened it too. He's gaining on him already before they get to turn 2. He's looking down at the outside of turn 3. He's braking on the curb. That is a very dangerous place to brake there, but he has turned it in. He's drifted a bit. Max has spun. Max has spun.
Jan pushed it. They're both out.
Max is reversing right now. Is it safe to do so? Yes, it is. Jan's reversing too, and Max is going to let Jan get ahead, I think, there, as Jan picks up a 5-second penalty. Oh no, what happened there?
Max knows, Robot. Max knows what penalties Jan's got, so he's going to let him go. He doesn't want to deal with the internet glitch, and he doesn't want to deal with Jan pushing the fact anymore, so he let him go. Jan pushed it very hard in the turn 3 there as he ran into Max, and I think that's what caused the spin.
I see. Now, I'm looking at Max's car right now. He doesn't look like he's got any damage whatsoever. Does Jan have any damage?
It doesn't look like he's got any damage here. The sides of the cars are what touched. That's what got them both loose. They're both very lucky that they don't have any damage here at the ending stages of the race. So very lucky for these two guys to be able to continue the race and not have to come in for a wing change.
Yep, you're right. Both of them have stayed out, so it doesn't look like any of them have got damage. That was interesting. Now, I wonder if there's going to be a report at the end of the race there, because from my perspective, it just looked like either Jan hit him from behind or he just went too deep into the corner and then wiped him out. But as they were spinning, it looked like Max was actually collecting Jan, so I'm not really sure what happened there.
Yeah, Max came up into turn 3. I think he had the racing line at the time. I'm not sure if he cleared him or not. It looked like he cleared him, Robot. If he cleared him, then Jan has got to let it go because he could have tucked in and let it go. Now, if Jan had his nose in, which I believe he tried to stick the nose in there at the very last minute just to say he had the nose in, that's what Jan was trying to do, and that's what made Max think that he didn't know he was there. He just turned in and he thought he had the racing line because Jan stuck it in at the last minute. That could be a racing incident.
I think so, and we've just got AJ in the stream saying that Max lost the rear and then collected Jan, so he might have had another view of it, we don't know. But that could have actually been Max's fault. Yeah, we're going to have to wait to see with the steward reports there, because I can't imagine Jan being too happy about that if he wasn't at fault.
Not really. He can't be happy, but he can't be unhappy either. He's got the time penalties. We know he's got 15 seconds of penalties here. Why push the fact? Wait on Max to make a move or make a mistake and then take advantage of it after the mistake.
Yep.
You're 15 seconds back, even passing Max here. Unless you take off here, you're not going to clear.
And meanwhile, Santi and Tommy are still switching positions. Santi actually tried to look around the outside there into turn 4, and Tommy just got it back. I mean, these guys have been racing for like 10, 12 laps now, and they're both on 15-lap old tyres. And once again, I think Tommy's going to come out ahead because he is on hards, and those will last a little bit longer. And Santi has been following him more than Tommy has been following Santi, and that means Santi's tyres are going to be a lot worse off than Tommy's too.
They are going to be worse. He does have more ERS. He's got full ERS here, Robot.
He does.
He's got something. Oh, he gets loose here, but he's got more ERS here. Tommy is on 30% ERS, but he's saving it. He's not went down to 0.
Oh no, Tommy's spun!
He's off!
Oh, he managed to save it though. He managed to save it. He's still on track. Oh,
he's going to be out of the
one.
DRS zone, Robot. He's going to be out of the DRS zone here, and I think he's not going to be able to keep up. Now the hards are ruined. It's going to surprise me if he can come back up here.
Yeah, you're right. Stinson's pulled away another 3.6 seconds from Mats as well. I thought Stinson would be a bit further ahead by now, but maybe he's not getting too used to these medium tyres, or maybe he's not liking them that much, and maybe that's why he switched to the softs. But yeah, it's a shame.
He may not be. Another guy that we haven't talked about for a majority of the race, Robot, is Leica. Leica's 10 seconds behind the leader. He's on the mediums. Now, I'm going to go back to what I said at the beginning of the race when he pitted at lap 10, 4 laps earlier than what you need to pit at. He's on 19 old mediums. He's still got, I want to say, 7 laps to go to run these mediums. He's going to be pushing it here. He may already be losing pace, and that's why we're seeing him drop off here a little bit towards the end of the race.
I think you're right. So the only person that's had tyres on for longer are Vilsek and Tompa, but they're on the hard tyres with 23 laps and 21 laps, respectively. So, yeah, how long did we predict that these medium tyres would last? I think we said around 20 laps, right? Because we were doing 14 on the start.
22. I think 22 is as far as you want to go, Robot. Yeah, maybe 24 laps even, but I think with how it's going to end, Leica's going to be on 26, 27 lap old tires. Now, we know he can save them, so I know he can make it work, but I don't know how much pace he's going to have out of him without being in the front of the race.
Yeah, you're right. I'm going to keep an eye on the gap between him and Izat right now. So he's on, he's 11.2 seconds behind. I'll also just see how slow he is compared to his fastest lap as he crosses the line. I'll keep an eye on his sector 3 time as he crosses the line. Here he comes through turn 10 now. He's still managing to keep it on track everywhere. I think he's nursing his tyres. He's half a second down.
109. Yeah, 109 here, Robot. That's a little bit off the pace here. I think the tyres are starting to get to him.
Yeah, and whilst I'm looking at this, could you, if you don't mind, have a look at the racing incidents just to see if anyone's close to being disqualified? Because I've just noticed there that Castle picked up another penalty. I think he must be close.
Let's take a look here. I think Jan's still the closest. Castle is sitting on the first one after lap 15. He's going to have a 3. He's going to have another warning. a few things here. Another warning. He's on 6. And then he's going to pick up a few more. I don't think he's close yet. He's got another 3. I don't think he's close. He's getting there, but he's not there yet.
Fair enough. So I can see 2 cars close on track right now, but I think it might be a back market. It might be Vilsek is about to be lapped by Izat, I think. Yeah, so Vilsek's really out of position right now. He's in between Mats and Izat. He's moved over to the right side of the track, and Izat should be able to get that position back really quickly so he can continue to push on Mats. But it doesn't look like he's going to get it done yet.
Vilsek's not going to let it go easy. If he's going to do it, he needs to come up to him very quickly. He's going to let it go now. Yeah, now he's going to let him go as he made a mistake in 3.
So then the next 2 would be another back marker, I think. It's going to be someone going through turn 8 now. Who is that? It looks like it's Tomper has just let Maximus through, I think. I'm not entirely sure. Oh no, it must be Mats. Right, so yeah, we've got a few back markers. I didn't expect to see any here in D1, but the pace of these front runners is just so much quicker. It's really remarkable.
It is. So we've got P3 lapping right now. I don't know if Leica's caught up to the field yet. I know I see Vilsek. He is catching up to Castle here. Castle's going to be the last back marker, so Leica is there, but it's going to start to play a factor in how he gets through the field here as he goes through back markers.
Yeah. Santi and Tommy, that battle, I think, is over. There's only 4 laps left, and Tommy's 4.3 seconds behind. He is on those harder tyres too, so I don't think he's going to be able to catch him anytime soon, as long as Santi can keep it consistent, as we see Castle going really wide again into turn 1, but he didn't pick up a penalty. We got someone in the pit. Vilsek is in the pits. Wow.
Vilsek is in the pits. Vilsek came in for soft, so we could be seeing him go for the fastest lap here as he's in P10.
I think you're right. I think he's trying to get that fastest lap. Now, what is the fastest lap currently? It's going to be Stinson when he was on the softs, I think. Probably around a 105 or 106.
It is. I'm trying to find it, Robot. I don't think I'm going to find it. Let's see what Stinson's pulling off here.
I found it. It's a 106.6. So
that's very fast. That's very fast.
That could be the average D2 time
for D2. Yeah, that's what I was just going to say, Robot. That's very fast.
So the lap record, you said it was Schumacher. Yeah, it was Schumacher. Oh, it was Raikkonen with a 106.9, and Stinson's already beat it with a 106.6. Wow.
What an amazing time we've got here. That is just unbelievable. How do you get around here like that on race pace?
No idea. So I think you're right with Vilsek. He's turned his ERS up now as he's coming up to turn 9 and 10. I think he's going to be going for a hot lap here. Let's see if he can do it. He needs to beat a 106.6.
He's going to come around for the start here. He's got some lead lap cars in the way. We'll have to see if he can stay out of the way of those guys as he's doing it.
He was quite nice into turn 1, actually. You can tell he's pushing. He's really going for it here. He's almost fighting the steering wheel as he was trying to make sure he could keep it corrected and straight there. Here he comes up into turn 3, brakes at about 75, I think, or almost 80 meters, the front of his car. Gets a little bit scruffy, gets a little bit of wheel spin, but manages to correct it. The one thing that he won't have is DRS, because he's not close enough to a car in front, and that might slow him down. But he may be getting a little bit of
he's not going to have any DRS here. It could be tow. I'm not sure. I don't know that you need DRS around here. If you've got the ERS to do it, you could go up in the hot lap and make up for some of that DRS time you lose.
So as he crosses the Sector 2 line, he's 1.5 seconds up on his fastest just in Sector 2 alone. His fastest was a 108.8, so he might be getting it done as Mats picks up a 3-second time penalty. He's coming into turn 9 and 10 now. He's got his ERS set to overtake, and he's got about 10% of it left to discharge. Can he do it? Let's have a look. He needs to be a 106.6, and he sets a 106.8. Oh, 2 tenths off.
Oh my gosh, what a try. Yeah. I can't believe he came that close to it. I don't think he's going to be able to do it again now. I mean, he's got to save up, but it's over. The softs are done. He's going to have to put it away, bring the car home, get ready for next weekend.
Yeah, and you can actually see him swerving left and right a little bit, trying to heat up his tyres. One thing that I did notice, when he crossed the line, you saw him go to the steering wheel and change something as his fuel started to flash yellow. So he is running, he must be running on fumes right now, because with 2 laps to go,
he's probably very low after he done all that. Yeah, the guys already try to calculate the fuel that they're going to use down to the last lap. So you come out here for a fast lap, you got to be ready to turn it down after you do it, because you're going to run out if you get to the the finish line, you're not going to do it.
You're right. So he's only managed to gain back 70% of his ERS so far. If he wants to do it, he might have to wait until the last lap. But if he wants to do it, it might be wise for him to get a little bit closer to the car in front so he can have some DRS.
That's exactly right, Robot. As Stinson comes around turn 3 for the second to last time, 6 seconds ahead of Mats. I thought he would be a little bit further ahead, but Mats is on 20-old lap medium tires. So Izat 2 seconds behind Mats. I wouldn't think that Mats would be able to hold Izat, but he has. Izat is in P3, and as we knew, we know Leica is going to be top 5 no matter what. 16 seconds behind. Very disappointing day for Leica today. I'm not very happy for him myself, but we'll have to see what he says after the race. Anders, a new driver in D1 today, debut drive in the Renault Sport, 4 seconds behind Leica, 21 lap old mediums. He's done very well today, Robot.
Yeah, he has. Really impressive too. I'm sorry to change topic here, but I was just carefully spectating Vilsek. He's made a few adjustments on his wheel, and he has managed to store up all 100% of his ERS again. He's not got close enough to the car in front, but I think he wants to do this with a clear track. So he's turned his ERS up to hot lap right now, and he is going for it, turning into turn 9. He gets a bit scruffy through turn 9, though. Let's see if he can bring it back on track. He can, and he's going for it again with his ERS set to hot lap. He is going to try and get the fastest lap. So I'll keep an eye on Stinson to make sure we don't miss him, but I'll ride on board with Vilsek for now and see if he can do it. He cuts the corner dramatically at turn 1, but manages to keep the car turning in the right direction there. He's already going about 190 miles an hour before he gets to turn 2. He is on a very hot lap right now.
That's amazing, Robot. As we've got Stinson. Stinson's coming around turn 9. This is going to be a race winner. He's coming around on 13 lap old mediums. We've got Mats in P2. Here comes Stinson. Stinson's going to cross the line, and he takes the checkered. What an amazing day for Stinson. What a strategy we saw today. An amazing strategy from Stinson there. I don't think anyone else could have matched him today as Mats comes in P2. Oh!
That jumps him!
He jumps him!
Penalties.
There
no.
There had to have been some time penalties that I didn't catch there, Robot.
Ooh, and Castle's just picked up a 10-second time penalty. Leica's just about to cross the line now in 4th place, so he did move up 2 places, so congratulations, Leica. He probably was hoping for a podium. And Vilsek is about to cross the line. Let's see if he can do it. No, he doesn't do it. He doesn't even improve. Oh, that's a shame.
He doesn't even improve. He lost the grip in the softs. That's got to be what it is. Or he let off.
Yeah, so Tommy's just coming through turn 10 now, and he's going to cross the line in a well-deserved 7th place. He put up a hell of a fight with Santi, but unfortunately that mistake in turn 1 cost him 6th place.
He did.
And here comes Jan through turns 9 and 10 as well.
A little bit of a rough day for Jan today. He's gonna have a lot of penalties. I think he's gonna be dropped back a little bit here. I don't think Vilsek's gonna pass him. We'll have to see what happens when Vilsek crosses the line. He's not gonna jump him. But a lot of time penalties. He had almost 20 seconds in penalties.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So, another great win for Stinson. Another podium for Izat. And unfortunately, Mats finished in 3rd, but he had pace today. He had a lot of pace.
It's a podium. It's a podium. I mean, take the podium. He did have a lot of pace. It's hard to see, he ran P1 there. We like to see guys other than the ones we see every weekend in the top spot.
For sure.
He did run there for a while. He held Izat off as far as the official time. Unfortunately, penalties have brought him to P3.
Yep.